few days in this building. So I thought what a good time it would be to take you on a tour of the apartment complex, because by the time you see this, I will no longer be living here. And I thought I could show you what you can get in Seoul with what kind of amenities, because this is, honestly, this is a bit of an unusual building, so I've got a lot of things to say. And yeah, I won't be living here anymore, so why not show you what it looks like?
So this building is called Episode, and there's a couple of Episode buildings across Seoul. This one is the one in Mapogu in Sinchon, which is pretty well located. It's next to Hongdae. The vibe of this building is kind of like a living, working hybrid kind of building, and there's lots of different amenities, so let me show you around.
Okay, let's go to the main lounge area and the workrooms and stuff, and I'll show you what those look like.
So I'd planned to voice over this part of the video because I didn't want to disturb anyone while they're working, but it turns out there weren't many people around because I did this very early in the morning. But anyway, this is the lounge, which is really impressive. It's on the second floor and it's huge. It's kind of like a lecture hall. They actually did hold TEDx talks here at one point. They do lots of events and classes in this room and some of the smaller rooms surrounding it, which I actually did one of. I did a vase making class, which was actually really fun. If you climb all the way up to the top of the seating, you're on the third floor, and up here they've got a few other interesting things. They have this collaboration with Muji, and I believe one of the other buildings was in collaboration with IKEA when I first looked around as well. I've actually never been up here until I filmed this, so I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'm like, what is this? It's just a few shelves and some folders. But I think the third floor is all decorated with Muji items, but you can't see into the different apartment units, so I think that's what it is. And also you can rent furniture through Episode if you're only staying for a couple of months. This is really handy. You can rent Muji furniture and other furniture items. And also on every other floor there seems to be a little seating area that I never saw anyone use, but it makes it feel a bit more homely, so I really like them. I thought they're cute. I'm going to show you some more later in the video.
Okay, this is another talking space. Never been in this one before. Oh, it's cute. Next, let's go up to the dining room because that's 2 stories, and I actually think it's a really good idea. I didn't use it because I bought myself my little oven thing, but a lot of people come here and they can stay in this building, I think, from a month. You can get a contract from 1 month to like 12, 24 months, as much or as little as you need. So often people won't buy a lot of furniture, they'll rent it from the Muji system here, and then also they can cook their stuff in the dining room. I think I used it like twice, so let me show you.
So let's check out the cooking and dining room, which is split across 2 levels. This is the cooking space, and it's pretty impressive. It did used to get busy here sometimes in the evenings and on weekends because it's a nice place to hang out with your friends. And if you are staying only for a couple of months, it doesn't make sense to buy lots of appliances, and they have everything here. I love the way they've decorated it. I think it looks nice and cozy, and it doesn't feel too like corporate or formal. In here, it's nice. I actually made quite a lot of friends just by being in the building, and it's nice to have these spaces to meet those people and hang out in. And all of the appliances they had were great. They even had an oven, which is unheard of in Korea. They had like rice cookers and microwaves, and they even had a wine fridge so that you could chill your wine.
In true Episode fashion, the stairs were closed, so I had to take the lift. Makes no sense. Oh, here's another little seating area. They have these on every other floor. Cute.
And this is the second half of the dining and cooking room, which I couldn't access from below, and I'd never been in here either, but this is just a table and chairs. It does have a great view of the dining room though. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to one of my favorite places in the whole building, the working room, which was a nice big central location where you could work with your friends. I used to bring friends from outside in here, or I'd meet my other friends from in the building in here, and we could just sit and work. And what's great is they had these 4 little private rooms that you could book out on the app, and I take loads of meetings in here. As someone who works from home, I feel like this is a really great thing to have in an apartment building, because it just means that you're not working in the same space every day, and that does make it a little bit more easy to stay attentive and do what needs to be done without procrastinating.
I'm in the gym now, and believe it or not, I think this is the facility I got the most use out of, because they have 2 rooms here that you can book out, and they have a few free weights.
I didn't explain this properly, but these 2 rooms are little private areas that you could rent out on the app, and you could just pull the curtains across so nobody could see you working out, which I really liked.
There's not many machines here. There's only 2 for running, and a cycling machine, a basketball hoop that doesn't have a hoop. And then, again, this is true episode fashion. There is a climbing wall which nobody can use. You have to have gone through one of the programs here to use it, but they only offer them once every few months, and it's like limited spaces. So I've never seen anyone use it. I'm pretty sure it's just for the aesthetic. I'm assuming you can't use those ropes either, but yeah, there we go, that's the gym. I really do like this space. I'm gonna miss it a lot, and I'm gonna miss the workroom most of all, and the rooftop. Go to the rooftop in a minute. Every unit here has a washer, but nobody has a dryer, so if you want to launder your stuff, you go to floor 9. I actually never use this. Kind of wish I had though. I need to do some sheets, some big duvets and stuff, but too late. Let's go look at the rooftop. I did get some footage of this on a sunnier day though, so I'll put that in when we get there. We're up on the roof. I am actually a little sad now that I'm here, because I'm thinking of all the times my friends would come over and we drink cocktails up here, or the times me and Haley would bring the dogs up here to run around, and it feels a little bit bittersweet, but it's just hit me now that I'm leaving, but it's all for the best. So up here behind me are the fancy rooms. If I can pull up some pictures online, I will, but those rooms are weird layouts, but they're much bigger. Some of them even have like a closet room and everything. They are very expensive. You wouldn't catch me renting one of those, but they look very nice. Over this side, there is a building here called Mangrove that just opened as I moved in here. It's the same concept as episode. Interesting, I would love to check that out one day. Down here, that is a station. I can't remember which one it is. I think maybe it's Sogang Station. That one I rarely use. It's a blue line. It connects all the way to Goyang. So I'd go on that one. I'd go to IKEA, or you can go that way to Yongsan, to the mall. But Shincheon Station is just up here. Down here, you've got the Gyeonggi Line Park, which runs all the way up through Hongdae. Hongdae is there, and then it keeps going. I really love that park. There's a lot of cool little shops in there. There's loads of cafes and restaurants, and it's a great place to walk the dogs. Beautiful in cherry blossom season. I will be coming back because I really love this area, and I'm gonna miss how close I am to over here, Yeonnam, which is one of my favorite areas in the whole of Seoul. And down here, fun little fact, where you can see all this construction, they're building another episode building. I guess it did so well that they have to build another one. Okay, let's go back inside because I'm pretty sure that's it now. So a few things about this apartment complex. The first of which is that it's a little bit pricier than most other loft apartments in Seoul. It's a brand new building. The building has a ton of amenities, and this room in particular, the downstairs is like double the size of most of the other rooms here. There are some really big rooms, like penthouse rooms, and all kinds of different layouts in this building. So not the priciest one in the building, but it's slightly bigger than like a regular sized loft apartment. So when I first got to Korea, I did think, oh, you know what, I wouldn't mind being a little bit bougie for the first year and getting an apartment that I feel really comfortable and safe in, and that has a lot of space for me to work from home and do all the things that I need to do for my job. I think this unit is a little bit pricey, honestly. because you could find on the outskirts of Seoul something a similar size for a bit cheaper. But I've been living in Airbnbs that my work paid for and living at home with my family for about 9 or 10 months before actually finally moving to Korea. So I hadn't been paying rent for a long time, and I decided to save that money up and get something a little bit more comfortable for my first year, just so that I could enjoy myself. I was so sick of living in stinky, smelly, rotten Airbnbs.
Okay, let's pause for a second because I didn't do a great job of explaining the rent and the costs. So I'm going to voice over this just to make sure that I do it justice so I don't forget anything. But rent in Korea is really interesting. There are two systems. There's jeonse and wolse. Jeonse isn't really applicable to most of you watching this unless you're Korean and you live in Korea, because you take out a loan from the bank that can be up to about 80 or 90% of the property value, and you give that to the landlord. They invest it and then you get that back at the end and you don't pay rent. But the monthly rental system, wolse, is what most young people do. That being said, in Korea there's still quite a large key money deposit that you'll have to pay to rent an apartment. This might bring down the cost of the apartment because in comparison to living in, say, London or New York, renting in Seoul is much cheaper, but it's all because of that pesky key money deposit. So let's talk about it. In this building, the price depends on the layout of the unit, and it probably also depends on like which floor you're on and which direction you face, and a number of different factors. I tried to find some accurate prices online, but I looked at the real estate agent that I used and their prices weren't accurate when I used them a year ago, and they're not accurate now. So I'm gonna go off memory of what happened when I went to the episode leasing building and what they told me in the different units that I looked at, just to give you more of an accurate idea of what the pricing is like, because these are not right. But here we go. There are a ton of different layouts in this building, but I would say there are small, medium, and large apartments. The small ones, when I went, they were leasing at about 950,000 won plus, and these are just your average standard loft apartments. Then moving on to my apartment, which is a bit bigger, and other similarly sized apartments in this building, they were ranging from about 1.7 to 2.2 million per month. Mine was 1.8, but a very similar one on another side of the building I saw on a website for 2.8 per month, which is madness because all they had different was this divider in between the room to separate it into a second space. Same layout, same size, really strange, but there you go, I got a bargain. And there's larger units, and these are about 2.5 up into 3.3 million won per month. And the deposit on these is much bigger, from 30 to 50 million won. The key money for the rest of the apartments, most of the small and medium ones, were about 10 million won per month. Renting in Seoul is going to depend on location. So if you're willing to live a little bit further on the outskirts of Seoul or outside of the popular locations, you can find something much cheaper, and slightly older buildings will also be cheaper too. You can find a great loft apartment for about 800,000 a month, which is such a bargain in comparison to what you can find in London. Also, I don't have an outro for this video, so I just wanted to say that while my time in this apartment has been amazing and I've had the best luck living here, I'm ready to move on and show you guys what I'm doing in the next apartment with Haley. This new one has a lot more character, and the moving vlogs are coming up straight away. So if you want to see me do any makeovers, make sure that you're subscribed. And don't forget to check out my TikTok and Instagram, where I'm doing lots of shorter videos over there as well. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting me on this journey in Korea. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my apartment complex, and I will see you for the new apartment vlogs. Bye.